thereof. Very slow to begin was Angus de Bull, also Fast Flow and Moon Knight, not that fast away. Pink Chazz has got the early lead and now being taken on around the outside by Bally Bay Moonshiner, and those are the first two. Bold and Loyal is racing in third with Do You Believe on that one's outside. Then Six Strings is racing in fifth position, a break of just over a length to Headley George, who's racing in sixth. Fast Flow towards the inside has made up ground to now take seventh. Then Nick Vedder is racing in eighth. Beaugest is in ninth towards the outside of Rushmore as they now rush towards the end of the back straight. Brave Display is towards the rear of the field together with Moon Knight, and Angus de Bull is tailed off at the back of the field. They're at halfway and Bally Bay Moonshiner has got the lead in the hands of Shane Kelly. There's now a wave of three in behind. Pink Chazz pushed into second place. In third now is Bold and Loyal, and now staying on into fourth is Six Strings as now Do You Believe loses a little bit of ground, is very wide out on the track. Headley George turned in next, followed by Fast Flow, then Nick Vedder. After these, Rushmore. Then towards the inside is Moon Knight, followed by Beaugest, and then to the inside is Brave Display. They're inside the final furlong and a half, and it's Bally Bay Moonshiner has a lead of 2 lengths. But closing now is Pink Chazz down the outside. A furlong to go, and Pink Chazz has now taken the lead. It is Pink Chazz and George Wood who surged the lead, going clear as they race up towards the line. Pink Chazz, it is all over, and now clears away by a good 5 or 6 lengths. Pink Chazz for a second course and distance success. Brave Display may have just got up to Nick's second with Bally Bay Moonshiner and a rallying Fast Flow.
First past the post then is Pink Chazz. He bounces back to form for trainer John Butler, jockey George Wood and owners Power Geneva Limited. It was hard work from the home bend, but look at that winning distance. He's won very cosily in the end. The 5th start for this stable was trained by Sean Curran for his owners in the past, and he had one off much higher marks. Dropped £9 in 4 starts for this yard. Here, I thought enterprise and tactics from Shane Kelly on a horse who's been tricky. Bally Boy Moonshiner, who had a record of 0 from 12 coming into the race. Normally one that was keen early and never got there in time. Different tactics, looked like it might work a furlong out, but he has tied up in the closing stages. You've got to say Phil McEntee's horse, Brave Display, has seen out the mile, ridden a bit more patiently under Kevin Stott, and unfortunately an each-way bet on Fast Flow has resulted in a 4th place finish once again for Christine Dunnett's runner, but that horse has run nicely again. There might be a little race in him at some point, but this race is all about Pink Chazz, the horse who had wins in the past at a much higher level. Was a bit of an eye-catcher last time at Wolverhampton. The money was strong enough for him this evening, and he's handed our opener, Jess.
Yeah, he certainly has, and it was. Let's take it from the start, because Pink Chazz coming out of 10, but it's coming out of stall 11, Bally Bay Moonshiner, Rachel, who goes out and sets the pace in a race where we thought that it would be good to be on the front end, and actually Pink Chazz was a lot more handy this time than he had been in his prior runs.
Yeah, Pink Chazz absolutely broke on top, and I think this is something that they obviously must be working with. Because of that, he got into a much better early position than he's been finding himself in. And Shane Kelly, on a horse that finished 7th in this corresponding race last year, Bally Bay Moonshiner from stall 11, just was able to softly go over, basically because the first time in a long time this horse didn't miss the break. He actually broke on terms and therefore was allowed to go forward as opposed to sort of languishing in the back and making a late run. This horse was also having its 3rd run off a 8-month break, so again, run into a bit of fitness, seemed to settle a little bit once he reached the front. The winner, George Wood, is riding Pink Chazz around the turn. I mean, sort of trying to go and get this back, but he might be seeing the body language of Shane Kelly, who is actually trying to take a pull as they're coming to the cutaway with a bit of a, oh, we better get a move on. We don't want this race to slip apart. And I thought that was quite interesting. Both James and I thought Do You Believe was going to be the speed, and Erica Parkinson, just couldn't get in from the wide draw. She was 3 wide going into the turn, but he stopped very, very quickly, like he did in his last run 5.5 months ago. For me, the eye-catcher was the maroon colours of Brave Display, who had to sit a little bit further back, wait for the room on the cutaway of Fast Flow, the yellow blinkers, to sort of move slightly off the rail. And once he got through, Kevin Stott was able to just hit the go button, and he zoomed. First try over a mile. This trip definitely going to suit, and his run style, it'll suit in a race run a little bit quicker on the front end. Interesting, though, he's already been declared on Monday over 7 at Wolverhampton and a 0 to 55, and he has an entry on Friday over 7 furlongs. So I think now that this horse is rounding into a bit of form, having bounced a little bit off his win 3 starts ago back at the end of December, I think they're going to keep throwing darts at him, because even if he can't win, he'll be picking up check.
Yeah, the fact-finding mission there with Brave Displays definitely worked out. But look, Pink Chazz, as we said before the race, last time he won was off a mark of 68.51 today. So he's definitely better than this in his prime. But everything just fell into place here today. And given an aggressive ride by George Wood, who knew that he had plenty of force to keep him going, and he did exert that nice turn of foot in the end. And he was well supported. And he had been the favourite throughout the course of this afternoon, and fairly certain he returned our favourite as well. 7-2 joint favourite in the end. The other joint favourite was Nick Vedder, but Pink Chazz returns the winner for George Wood and JButler and Power Geneva Limited. Second was Brave Display at 14-1, and third home Bally Bay Moonshiner at 10-1. Winning time for our first at Kempton, 1 minute 38.19 seconds, which was 1.29 seconds above the standard and 0.16 seconds above the standard furlong per furlong.